Hi students, this is A. Mandri Kumar Rajesh. In this video, we are going to discuss a topic called female reproductive part of a flower called gynoecium. Actually, gynoecium is a modification of a leaf. Gynoecium is a modification of a leaf. Flower is a modification of shoot. Gynoecium is a modification of leaf. Gynoecium is the fourth whorl of a flower. Gynoecium is the fourth whorl of a flower. Then gynoecium represents female reproductive part of a flower. Then the term gynoecium represents one or more pistil. One or more pistil. If a flower contains only one pistil, the flower is said to be monocarpellary. Monocarpellary. It contains two pistils, they are called as bicarpellary. 3 tricarpellary, 4 tetracarpellary, 5 pentacarpellary. More than 3, more than 4, they are called as poly. The flower is said to be polycarpellary. Then this pistil, the term pistil comprises 3 parts, namely stigma, style and ovary. So the term pistil comprises 3 parts, namely stigma, style and ovary. Stigma is the receptive organ for the pollen grains. The stigma la dhaan pollen grains வந்து என்ன ஆகும் deposit ஆகும். The pollen grains are deposited on the stigma. That is why it is called as receptive organ of pollen grains. Then a stalk-like structure, a slender stalk-like structure which connects ovary and the stigma, and that part is called as style. சரிங்களா, இந்த ஓவரியையும் ஸ்டிக்மாவையும் ஒரு டியூப் லைக் ஸ்ட்ரக்சர் வந்து என்ன ஆகுது கனெக்ட் பண்ணதுல அந்த ரீஜன் தான் நம்ம என்ன சொல்றோம் ஸ்டைல் அப்படின்ட்டு சொல்றோம். Then a basal swollen part of a pistil is called as ovary. Pistilல ஒரு swollen part இருக்கு, அந்த part தான் நம்ம என்ன சொல்றோம் ovary அப்படின்னு சொல்றோம். Inside the ovary we are able to find ovule. So inside the ovary only we are able to find ovule. So this structure is called as ovule. So ovary encloses the ovule. Actually this ovule is arised from placenta. Ovule is arised from placenta. So this placenta only connects the ovule with ovary. The ovule எதில இருந்து தான் arise ஆகுதுன்னு சொல்றாங்க, placentaல இருந்து தான் arise ஆகுது. சரிங்களா? Then இந்த placenta என்ன பண்ணுது, இந்த ovule ஓவரியோட கனெக்ட் பண்ணுது. ஓவரியோட கனெக்ட் பண்ணுது. So placenta is very very important. Then the gynoecium arises as a small outgrowth. Gynoecium arises as a small outgrowth of a meristematic tissue. Meristematic tissue நால என்ன, it can divide continuously. It can divide continuously from the tip of floral primordium. From the tip of floral primordium. சரிங்களா, floral primordiumனா nothing but it is a tissue. Later it become a flower. சரிங்களா, அது டிஷ்யூவா இருக்கும், it get differentiated and it become a flower. அதே மாதிரி இந்த gynoecium வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா it's arises as a small outgrowth. ஒரு சின்ன outgrowth என்ன ஆகுது வருது, எதுல from the tip of a flower primordial, and it is a meristematic tissue. So it divides continuously and it becomes differentiated into ovary, style and stigma. சரிங்களா? அதுதான் நம்ம என்ன சொல்றோம், pistil and gynoecium னு சொல்றோம். அந்த மெரிஸ்டெமேட்டிக் டிஷ்யூ என்னது, get differentiated, மாறுபடும், get differentiated into ovary, style and stigma. So they are combinedly called as gynoecium or pistil அப்படின்ட்டு என்ன பண்றோம், சொல்றோம். சரிங்களா? The number of ovules in the ovary may be one or many. If it is one, அதுல ஒரே ஒரு ஓவியல் இருந்ததுன்னா they are able to produce only one seed. Example, paddy, wheat and mango. Many ovules, if ovary contains many ovules, many seeds are present in that fruit. சரிங்களா? Example, watermelon, then orchids, etc. சரிங்களா? So ஒரே ஒரு ஓவியல் இருந்தனா they are able to produce only one seed after the post fertilization changes. If many ovules are present inside the ovary, they are able to produce many seeds. Example, watermelon, orchids and papaya. Let me teach you structure of an ovule. This is the structure of an ovule. The ovule or megasporangium is protected by one or two protective coats or protective covering, and that covering is called as integuments. So in this ovule, the ovule is protected by two protective coats, outer integument, inner integument. So the ovule is said to be bitegmic. சரிங்களா? இந்த ஓவியூல அல்லது மெகாஸ்போராஞ்சியம் கவர் பண்ணிருக்கு. that layer act as a protective coat. அததான் நம்ம என்ன சொல்றோம், இன்டெகுமென்ட்னு சொல்றோம். இப்போ இந்த ஓவியூல எத்தனை இன்டெகுமென்ட் இருக்கு? 1 2 outer integument and inner integument. So that ovule is said to be bitegmic. Suppose if the ovule contains only one integument, that ovule is said to be unitegmic. In angiosperm, the ovule is said to be bitegmic. So in angiosperm, all the ovules are said to be bitegmic. Most of the cases, the ovules contains two integuments and they are said to be bitegmic. சரிங்களா? Then a matured ovule can show stalk of the ovule and body of the ovule. So this region is called as stalk of the ovule and this region is called as body of the ovule. ஒரு மெச்சூர் ஓவியூல நீங்க என்னெல்லாம் பார்க்கலாம்னா stalk of the ovule பார்க்கலாம் and body of the ovule பார்க்கலாம். The stalk of the ovule is said to be funicle. And they are present at the base of the ovule. And function of the funicle is, the funicle attaches the ovule to placenta. The function of the funicle என்ன அப்படினு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, the funicle attaches the ovule to placenta. சரிங்களா? Then the stalk of the ovule and the body of the ovule met are attached at a point, and that point of attachment is called as hilum. So in the funiculum, the body of the ovule attach ஆகிற பாயிண்ட் தான் நம்ம என்ன சொல்றோம், ஹைலம் சொல்றோம். the point of attachment தான் நம்ம என்ன சொல்றோம், ஹைலம் சொல்றோம். So after the post fertilization changes, this hilum become a scar. It remains as a scar. சரிங்களா? ஒரு வடுவா இருக்கும். not only hilum, the funiculum remains as a scar. வடுவாக இருக்கும். இதுல சீட்ல இருக்கும். சரிங்களா? Then in an inverted ovule, so we can call it as inverted ovule, scientifically anatrophous ovule. So inverted ovule நம்ம anatrophous ovule சொல்லலாம். It is otherwise called as anatrophous ovule. சரிங்களா? In inverted ovule, the funicle is attached to the body of the ovule and it form a ridges. ஒரு மேடு மாதிரி என்ன ஆகுது, ஃபார்ம் ஆகுது, and that structure is called as raphe. In inverted ovule, the funicle attached to the body of the ovule and it forms a ridge called called raphe. Which called raphe. சரிங்களா? Then nucellus. So the body of the ovule is made up of mass of parenchymatous tissue, and that region is called this nucellus. So this is the body of the ovule, and it is made up of mass of parenchymatous tissues, and that layer is called this nucellus. சரிங்களா? So இந்த region தான் நம்ம என்னன்னு சொல்றோம்? Nucellus ன்னு சொல்றோம். It is made up of parenchymatous tissue. Then anatropous ovule is the most common type of ovule which are seen in angiosperms. Angiospermல most common type of ovule என்னவா தான் இருக்கும்? Anatropous ovule தான் இருக்கும், and they are bitegment. ரெண்டு integument இருக்கும், and they are and it contains inverted ovule. சரிங்களா? Then the body of the ovule is not enclosed at some point. So the body of the ovule is not enclosed at some point. It remains free and it forms a pore, and that region is called as micropyle. So in the ovule ஒரு regionல மட்டும் enclose பண்ணாம இருக்கு. ovule வந்து the integumனால enclose பண்ணாம இருக்கு. அந்த region தான் நம்ம என்ன சொல்றோம்? micropyle அப்படினு சொல்றோம். So the pore of the ovule is called as micropyle. Pore of the ovule is called as micropyle. Then the base of the body of the ovule, where funicle, integument and nucellus meet or merges, and that region is called as chelacelium. Base of the body of the ovule, where integuments, funicle and nucellus meet or merges, and that region is called as chelasa or chelacelium. Then a large sac and oval-like structure which is present inside the embryo sac, which is present inside the nucellus, is called as embryo sac. சரிங்களா? Called as embryo sac or female gametophyte. Female gametophyte. So a large oval, a sac-like structure which is formed inside the nucellus, and that structure is called as embryo sac or female gametophyte. So this embryo sac is formed from functional megaspore, and they are formed within the nucellus. எதுக்குள்ளே ஃபார்ம் ஆயிடுது? nucellus குள்ளே ஃபார்ம் ஆயிடுது. யாரு? இந்த embryo sac. சரிங்களா? Then in some cases, in some species, the inner integument become a specialized layer. That means it becomes a nutritive layer to the developing embryo sac. சில species, சில plantsல அந்த ovule இந்த inner integument என்ன பண்ணுது? nutritive layer என்ன ஆயிடுது? மாறிடுது, and it provides nutrition to the developing embryo sac. That is why that integument is said to be integumentary tapetum. Integumentary tapetum or endothelium Example, Asteraceae family. Example, Asteraceae family. Sunflower family தான் என்னது? Asteraceae family. சில பிளான்ட்ஸ்ல அந்த ஓவில் இன்னர் இன்டெகுமெண்ட் இருக்குல்ல, அது வந்து என்ன பண்ணுதான்? நியூட்ரிட்டிவ் லேயரா ஆக்ட் பண்ணுதான். எதுக்கு? It provides nutrition to the developing embryo sac. அதனால that integument is said to be integumentary tapetum or endothelium. Example, Asteraceae or sunflower family. சரிங்களா? Then there are two types of ovules based on their position of sporogenous cells. They are teninucellate and crasinucellate. Based on the position of sporogenous cells, there are two types of ovule. They are teninucellate, crasinucellate. In the case of teninucellate, the ovule is sporogenous in origin. That the sporogenous cell is the hypodermal in origin. And in teninucellate, the nucellus is less. It has small amount of nucellus. In any nucellate, it contains small amount of nucellus. While in the case of crossinucellate, the sporogenous cell is subhypodermal in origin, and this nucellus have large nucellus. This crossinucellate have large nucellus. Then the group of cells at the base of the ovule, which is present between the chalaza and the embryo sac, and that cells are called this hypostase, So a group of cells which are formed at the base of the ovule, ovule, எதுக்கு நடுவுல இருக்குது செலாசாக்கும் எம்பிரியோ சாக்குக்கும் நடுவுல இருக்கிற அந்த செல்ஸ் தான் நம்ம என்ன சொல்றோம் ஹைபோஸ்டேஸ் னு சொல்றோம். Then thick wall cells are formed above the micropyle or embryo sac, and that type of cells are called as epistase, சரிங்களா? The thick wall cells எதுக்கு மேல ஃபார்ம் ஆகுது above the micropyle or embryo sac, and that type of cell is called as epistase. Then the vascular supply. So this structure contains xylem and phloem, which can supply nutrition and water to the ovule. So vascular supply, the vascular strands contains xylem and phloem. It can supply nutrition and water to the ovule. So that's all about today's video. If you have any doubt, please clarify with me. Thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you.